I'm doing the opposite. I'm doing the exact opposite as what they tell me. So if everybody's telling me I'm going long in AMD because it's going to be a second day runner, I think, well, maybe. But what you have to reckon, of course, is that on this early bird show, we draw in levels and we do some technical analysis and we say, okay, this is a level, this is support, this is resistance. I want to see price action. I want to see this past the 50 average or the 20 or the 9 or the 200s. So what they are telling me is that I'm preparing this show 1 hour in advance. So I'm going to walk my dog for 1 hour together with my wife from 8 to 9. Then I take a shower, then I'm going to prepare, I'm going to draw my lines, I'm going to look at my scanners, I'm going to look at everything that's going on. I put in my levels if I can, I put in my trend lines, I look at my EMAs, I look at my SMAs, I look at everything that I have learned. And on some things I wrote a book on. And what the other channels tell me is just dip your feet in the water. Dip your feet in the water. I'm not going to dip my feet in any water if I don't know what's in it. Does anybody, really anybody, dips their feet into the water if you don't know what's in it? I don't. Oh, they're just going to chew my toe off or bite in my foot or something. But that's okay. I'm just going to dip my feet in the water. Oh, no, I'm going long. I'm sure it will be a second day runner. I go in with full size. I don't care. I'm going short. Please, people, if you listen to the show, you know what I'm doing. I'm putting in levels for you guys. And I do that with a reason. There is something that's called resistance and there is something that's called support. Really, there is. So a few people on my Twitter account yesterday came back to me and they said, listen, you told me that this was a level. 22 was a level, 44 was a level, 67 was a level, you name it. But it fell right through it. Yes, that can happen. So if it falls right through it, then it's not a level anymore and you don't have a play. So as long as it respects the level, if it's support or if it's resistance, then you're okay. Then you can play off that level. But if it falls right through that level, maybe you catch it and you go short, or you catch it and you go long. That's all right with me. Or you wait for a setup. But if it doesn't respect the levels that you drew in a few hours earlier, then don't make the play. I don't. If I don't see that level holding, or I don't see that level like I expect it to be, then I'm not going in there. I stay off. I said, okay, I prepared 1 hour. No, I prepared 2 hours because I prepare from 9 to 10. Then I prepare with you guys. You're in the chat. We all do this together. I'm going to tell you later, Stacy, what kind of dog do you have? I prepared this long speech in how I trade, and then the question that I get is, what dog do you have? Oh, I love you, Stacy. I'm going to get back to you on that one. I tweeted your name out last night Amsterdam time, because I took that play that you gave me. So I'm preparing this for 1 hour. Then I prepare with you guys for 1 hour. After I'm off the air, I am getting a coffee, I'm having a lunch, and I'm just scrolling through my levels again. And then I'm going to sit at my computer again at 7:30 Eastern time and 1:30 Amsterdam time. And then I'm going to prepare again, just 2 hours before markets open, for half an hour. There's also a live broadcast on my own channel, Bosch Trading. After that, I listened to our own show, the Benzinga show with Joel and Spencer, which is the best show ever. And while doing that, I still draw my lines. I still think, oh, I drew a line here, but I think it's maybe gonna be not a resistance line, so I take it off and I pick another one. So after all this preparation, I do this preparation for 2, sometimes 3 hours. And what all the other guys are telling me, I will dip my feet into the water. I am going long. I will go in full size. I'm going short. No, I'm not going to do that. I am respecting my levels. I'm respecting my support. I'm respecting my resistance. And in the show yesterday, the pre-market show, Triple D backed me up on that one. So I'm really glad with all his comments. But of course, I'm very glad if he says the only thing that's important in any chart are the levels. And that's how I trade. If you don't want to trade like that, that's okay with me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Make your own plan. But if you're listening to this show and you see me trade these levels, I will show you what I did on that day, or what you could have done on that day if you respected the levels. So I'm not selling you anything. I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not going to sell you a war room. I'm not going to sell you any room with traders in it. I don't need that. I make my money just by trading and by investing. So please, there's no catch at the end here. I'm giving you this all free. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a video on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday, yes, it is. And I'm going to show you how I trade in 1 hour. In a full hour, I'm going to show you how I trade, how I prepare, what I do, how I set up my long reversals, what kind of measures I take, what kind of rules I have, when do I take a trade, what's my risk management, with how many shares do I get in. I told you that in the first week, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit more, and it's all free. And why do I do that? Well, I don't have to ask for any money because I'm making my money with these trades. So why should I sell a course for $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000? I don't need that. And I'm doing that because, well, I missed this kind of information when I started out. When I started out doing this, I looked, and there was some information, but there was not as much as it is right now. So I just want to help you guys. And if you appreciate that, and if you appreciate my little rant here, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Be sure to make this Benzinga channel the biggest channel there is, because we just want to share information with you. We just want to learn how to do this. And if you pick something up that, okay, this is something that you can do, please do. If you're just starting out, please do this on a paper trade and try some of the strategies that fit for you, and then go in with real money. Because if you go in with real money right away, you're going to lose. You couldn't find me on Twitter, Stacy. My Twitter handle is below this video, so look at it. I'm gonna pull it up later. Good morning, A1MMZ. Did you see Nell? I did not see Nell, but I'm gonna write it down. Found it, thank you. Okay, your STM Microelectronics turning green. Nice, OP. You're really in it already, I see. So, did anybody watch the fireworks yesterday on Apple? Did anybody trade that? I'm curious. Nell is a hydrogen company. I'm going to get to this, A1. I'm going to get to Nell. So first I want to show you my loser from yesterday, because I'm all about sharing my losers too. Maybe you remember this one. When you were up early. This is what I drew in at 4 o'clock yesterday. It's a little bit silly if you see it on this. So I'm gonna do it like this. I should have recorded this one. It's RIBT. And this is not right at all, because I did it like something like this. Something like that. Just bear with me, guys. Oh yeah, my camera, my other camera is really having some troubles again. So I'm just, if you have a little fuzzy image of me, then it's because my other camera had some problems. So RIBT, that's the small one. This is the line that I drew here. I said when it breaks that line, get in there. I did get in here above this trend line. If you can see it, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. So this was the trend line. I said, well, if it gets above the trend line, then get in there. I got in there. It only went up till 146, and I wanted to get it up to at least 150 and more even, because I thought, well, there's some potential here. There was no potential, so got in here, flushed down again, and I got stopped out and was not happy. So I traded this one in the first 15 minutes or something. So was not happy with it. And so this was my loser. This was a small one. It opened real big on, no, not real big. It opened in the first 5 minutes with those nice candles. And what we're seeing here right now on the same one, RIBT here, there's also some movement, but with no volume. So this is not going to be a play today. That's me, full size. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, this is Stacy's call. It was you, Stacy, wasn't it? It was Stacy's call in the chat at Benzinga just before we closed the show on Pinterest. And we struggled with that one a long time because I didn't know. And I told you that I didn't know. And after we pulled out Mr. Fibonacci and looked at it a little bit longer, we said, okay, if there is a level at all, it's gonna be 67. Just let me pull this up a little bit bigger so you can see. Ta-da! This is what it did. 67 it was. Did you take it, Stacy, or did you swing trade it, or did you day trade it? I'm curious to know. There's some lag in YouTube, so I'm just gonna wait if Stacy's still around. She's from Australia, so maybe she sat down for dinner. Frans, you are already long on Apple for a while. That's a good call in hindsight. So that's good. You made a small profit on pins. Great, Stacy. Great. It was a nice trade. If you had the stomach to be in here till 69, then that was all right. Mostly you get out, or you get nervous when it gets around this VWAP here, and maybe you take out 75% and then let the rest run. But 67 was our level yesterday, and you could have played it from that as a day trade. And the other one that we called, okay, I tweeted this one out also. If you want to trade coins, then look at Catherine Ross's show. She's a colleague at Benzinga and knows all about Bitcoin. So please look at her show too. You can look it up at the Benzinga YouTube channel. Hey, these are the same. What's happening? Okay. There was another one. Just gonna look that one up. So bear with me. I tweeted out the same graph twice. So there was pins. And the other one that we did was I'm not sure. Oh yeah, of course I'm sure. That's what my little rant was about. Just bear with me a few moments. Bum, bum, bum. I'm in this great mood because I managed to fix my coffee machine, and now I think I'm gonna be fine in the long run with this one. So, okay. Just let me check, guys. Is the mic on mute? Is there a problem? Just checking. After my camera went down, now my mic is all. Now there is sound. Is there only sound when I'm in this picture? So I'm gonna keep it up there. So I just click this little button, maybe. You're all good now. When I went full screen, sound went off. Oh no! And I had just this. Okay, but did you get the point on AMD, or didn't you? I'm gonna talk to you one more time. Okay, so we had these two levels, 88.32 and then 87.99, so 88. I heard all the people saying, I'm going long, I'm going long, I'm going long. I say, okay, maybe I'm going long also, but I really want to see if those levels are support levels. And it looked like they were in the first one, two, in the third red candle that you see there. It even looked like it in the fourth red candle there. And when the first green candle after those four red candles came, it appeared to me that it's no longer a support level, but a resistance level. And when it got under that 88, I knew that it was no longer support, but it was resistance. So if a stock just goes through one of those levels and you have a setup or you have confidence in the play that you're going to make, then you can reverse. I seldom do that because I'm a long bias trader, and that's because I was a long time investor. So I really like to go long because that's just my play. But if I see all the channels saying I'm going long, I'm going long, I'm going long, then I just know that they're gonna sell if they are under 88, because they recognize that there's a level also. But they all thought that it was a support level, so they bought it somewhere in 88.50 or something, and they had a 50-cent stop. And when it went below 88, then they felt the need to get out of it. And when they get out, I get in, and we made this nice trade here to the downsides. So here support turned into resistance, and resistance was a nice play to play the short side here. RBT was just, so I had 2 wins and 1 loss, and I had some other small ones that I'm not going to talk about now because I didn't prepare those for you. So it's a little bit unfair to say, okay, this was also a great trade. I'm just going to talk about the trades that we discuss here on the channel. So what's going on with BTX? This is BTX. I'm going to take this one down here. So BTX, let's talk some stocks, guys. This is BTX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, green channels, because we are on a daily now. We talked about this stock also when it was around 10. Look at this. Well, if anyone is prepared to say this is a level on this one, then please be my guest. But I'm really, you cannot say, at least I cannot say, okay, this is obviously a level, but it's a very difficult one to call this one if you want to trade it as a day trader today, because of those crazy moves it made all the way to the top, of course, here. And a little bump here and a little dump here. Just might be, but be very careful with BTX. It can really be volatile. So I'm not going to call any levels on this one today. BTX, but it is volatile, so it may be interesting for you to play this one on a day trade. Then looking at ELP, I saw this on my scanners and I now also see why. Because of this one. So this looks like an acquisition to me, if this is true. Or reverse split. So ELP, not going to trade that one either. So this is going fast. RHE. Also this nice move yesterday. So I just told you, I just told you a few minutes ago, be very aware of being long bias on a stock. Because you think it's going to be a secondary runner. It just might be. So this is 697 and 714 7. This is also 749 720. 727. Well, call me crazy, but this might be a level here. So let's put in round numbers because it makes more sense. 7 and here's 750 on RHE. Not sure about this one, if this one will go. You're never sure, it's only 50%. Well, you want that. What you at least want to see is that it holds this $5 mark here, because it's also the 50 EMA on this one. So there's a lot of room here to play this one. So be careful. Normally it moves not above 60 cents a day, with the exception of yesterday. So to determine if this is going to be a second day runner, and there are no levels here in between that I can see of, or that I'm very secure, that I believe in. Or might there just be here 620, 623, 616, 621, 620. Just found one, guys. 620 seems to be some kind of resistance here. Might turn into support. If it does, then it's a strong support, of course. When support turns into resistance and the other way around, it's always stronger. So 620 for this one. Good morning, Greg from the UK. Okay, good to have you on the show. I just wrote down from the chat Nel, N-E-L. Is that a ticker name, N-E-L? Hey, Paul, no, I don't have a Discord. No, sorry. Frain is here again. Good morning from sunny Croatia. Okay, that's good for you. It's raining here in the Netherlands, and that's for the first time since a week or two, I think. So it's not all bad. Good morning, Antawan. We're gonna wave at Elliot. Good morning, wave. Good morning, wave at Elliot. Edmonton, Alberta. Racing, good morning from San Francisco. Okay, you're still up, I think. Ray. Paul, yeah, I'm a professional trader. Can you tell? Look at my nice charts here. I do this for a living. Okay, I don't get any response on Nell. I don't see if the tick is right. So, hey Pedro, King's Day. King's Day was, and for me it was just a trading day. But a lot of other people went to parks and got their heads smashed because they weren't allowed to go into the parks. Got their heads smashed by policemen. Let's look at MU. I'm just waiting for the ticker L, but I'm not sure what Nell was. So let's look at MU. MU. Whew. Played this one when it was around 46 in, I think, September, October. Okay, so MU got up here till this 97 mark, around 97 mark, then fell down, fell through all these levels here. So on my screen here, this is the daily that you see now. It's 9 EMA, 20 EMA, 50 EMA, and here this red one is my 200 SMA. And it just wants to run up now. Did it once without any conviction, I think. So it was stuck here. I had a lot of problems here, I think, with this 9 EMA on the daily. So what you see here now is this is the 50 EMA, that's at 87. This is the 9 EMA, this one is 88, and this is 20 EMA, this one is at 88, say 89. So there's a lot of resistance here if you go in here right now. So you can play this if you want, if you're a player like some of the guys are, and again, have your own strategy on these levels. So you can say, okay, I'm going to go long here in a hope that it will break those levels. So then you buy into strength. So you buy into resistance. I'm sorry. So you buy into resistance. You say, okay, I buy into resistance and I'm expecting that it will break these levels. So this is level 87.67, 88.07, and 88.89. It's now at 87.17, and it can make a run $3. Its ATR is $3. So normally this is now you can see that I'm a professional trader. Look at me draw this. Hello. So what's going on? Hey, what happened? Okay. That's unbelievable. It is there. Ta-dam! So this is 87 and a little bit, and this is 91. So in one day, it can make this move if you're a day trader. Just do it a little bit more precise. Really. Are you getting the point or not? You get it there? So normally you can get to this 91-ish here. But you have to go to all these lines of resistance. On the long side. So if you're long biased, then it's going to be a hard play, I think. If I was going to be long bias on this one, I would wait till it got above this 89 mark here. And then maybe if this one turns out to be support, then you can play the long side. So that's MU for you. Corolla, hi, why don't you invest rather than trade? Well, that's a good question. Because I introduced myself, but that was weeks ago. So I am an investor also. I invest only in European stocks. And why? Because, well, I just have a better feeling about those stocks. I know them better. I know what they're doing. I don't know them personally, of course, but I know what they're doing. I know the European market. I know what's going on. I know about regulations. I know about all the things that I have to know in a market. And if I trade Asian or American or invest in Asian or American stocks, sometimes I'm getting a little bit lost in what the dynamics of that market are. So I want, if you're investing in something, and I'm going to show you this one. A lot of people know this, of course, because I show this on every occasion. This is ASML, my favorite Dutch stock. You can look up on my LinkedIn page on Eric Bosch that I wrote the first article, or I wrote my first article on ASML here in 2016. Thought it was undervaluated, and then I thought, okay, this one's going to 165 or 150 or something, and I got laughed at. And look at this now. So that's just lucky, I guess. But so I'm an investor in European stocks, and I'm a day trader in American stocks. And I make money on both sides. So I'm having this pension plan for my investment stocks. So I put in all the money that I make on trading and put them in my investments. And so that's for the long run. So I look at those maybe once a week in some cases, and some I don't look at for more than once a month. And I do my trading because that's how I pay my bills and how I pay for my mortgage. Jen, I'm gonna call that also. Yeah, taxes are very different, I think, for American stocks and European stocks. I really don't know how this exactly works, if you want to believe me, because my accountant does that and he gives me this report every year and says, well, you did well, you have to pay some taxes, and then he says, sometimes he says you did very, very, very well, and then he says, okay, you have to pay a lot of taxes this year. So and how those exactly work, I'm not an expert on that one. So let's do some stickers, because it's already 10 to 11 and I am now deep trouble because I have to get to some stocks because I really want to. So this is MNMDs. We talked about this one yesterday. As you can see here, let's erase those. We didn't really know where it wanted to go after this spectacular move on Tuesday. But now if you want to, you can see this little trend here. And if this is going to be a trend, you never know, of course, but now what you want to see is that this next candle also will be in a higher low position. So you don't want it to fall below 408, and then you can trade it up to 577, because there really are no levels here. So you can say 5 is a level, you can say 550 is a level, but I'm not sure if it's really strong here on this one, because it took that level out on this big one here. So be very careful with this one. So it can be volatile, it can be chop also on a day. That's with every stock, but you really don't want to see this one fall below 408. Let's do a bank for once. Bank of America. Why don't you? Traded this one also in 31.29 here. So I'm seeing a channel. If you're seeing one also. So this is what you see at first glance on this one. This is first glance. This is what you see on a daily. And if you see this on a daily, then you might just say, okay, I'm going to use these lines here for a day trade. So, and I'm going to pull this one also. So this is the 9 EMA on a daily. It's now just around 39.50s. And you see this trend line here. So it's going to, normally you would say it can go as far as here, but because here are the two resistance lines on 9 and 20, then you might say, okay, I want to see some support at 39.50-ish. And then if you go back to the 1 minute, then you see these lines here. Oh, let's do the 5 minute, because otherwise. So these are the lines that I drew on the 1 minute on a daily, and now back on a lower time frame, you can see that this 39.50 is your support, and here's your first resistance point on Bank of America. Nicely trending up, and you want to see that one go up further than this 39.50, because if it doesn't, then it falls through its resistance lines, and then it's a short, and if it finds support here, then it's a long. If it hits its head here, then you can play the short, but there is there's more than $1.50 room now, so I have to follow this also during pre-market and when market is open, but those are the resistance lines or the levels for Bank of America. And I'm so curious about Ford. What did Ford do last night? I didn't even look at this one, if you believe me. I was wrong. So for everybody that didn't see the show a few days ago, this is what, when we were somewhere around here, I drew these nice candles here. And I did this because I thought that into earnings Ford would make this climb. And I was right on the first day, this one, or yeah, right enough. And I thought that it would go up here, but it didn't. It fell down. So this is the earnings report. And if anything, if this tells you anything, then in the case of Ford, it's really a buy the rumor, sell the news idea. So we were here with this low point 5 days ago. It went up a little, had some troubles here with this resistance on the 9 EMA, also trouble here on the 20 EMA, then found support here on the 20. Found support here again on the 20, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be absolutely right on this one. This is going to be the next one. And then sales came out and were disappointing. So it was a sell the news story. Just a little bit earlier than I thought it would be. So could you buy the dip now on Ford? Let's erase all. Could you buy the dip on Ford here? Well, you have this support here of the 50. So at 1190, and let us just say that 1199, sorry, and 1189. But you also have these resistance levels here, so only go long if it's above 1220. I would only go long if it goes above 1220. And if you're a short player, then you can play this one from 1189 downwards. Don't play it from 1199 downwards, because this is the next support level, and then you have only a 10-cent move. So that's not going to be profitable. Frans, it looks like the market will boom today after Biden's speech yesterday. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe you missed my opening. And if you did miss my opening, please look at it again. Okay. NNDM. So this is NNDM. I'm gonna take this one down now because it's not doing what I want. It did what I wanted it to do. It broke out of this line here. So we drew this line, I think, even 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I'm gonna take it all out again, not coming back to NNDM. It's just having so much trouble in finding some momentum. It looks like it's finding support now on this 200, but here on 1, 2, 3 occasions, then the next resistance is here. So for NNDM, it's a simple play if you want to play it. It's 795 and it's 885. Those are the two main levels. Let's look at FCell. We looked at FCell also yesterday, I think. Did we? Yes, we did. we drew 1028 and 1050 as the levels yesterday. Didn't play those because it didn't feel like those levels were respected yesterday. This is what's happening with F-Cell today. It opens here at 1075 and then falls down back to this white line here is the post-market close, and this blue line here is the pre-market open, and this is just a laser show. If you're inclined to this one, you can. Does anybody know what it is? I'm not going to bore you with this one. I'm going to do a technical show also sometime soon. I know all these RSIs and I know all this Boolean technicals that are in my toolkit, but I'm a levels guy. So this is a level 1075 and this is a level 1046 on F-Cell now. And look at the daily. What we want to see here is this line here continuing. That's what we want to see. So this 1075, that's not gonna be the deep point, I think. 1074. I'm gonna call 1109 and 1046 as D levels for F-Cell. Wanting it to go up. Then Neo has earnings tonight, so this is going to be another big earnings night tonight. This is Neo. It already sold something here in. So normally when what you want to do is you want to buy the rumor and you want to sell the news. So this is what did we say? 10 days before earnings come in, and there is this nice double bottom here, and then everybody's thinking, okay, Neo has fallen down from its mountain here. This was also ridiculous when you look at this at a market cap perspective. And this is a double bottom, got above this 200 SME, just nicely up. So you think, okay, this is buy the rumor. If you are a swing trader or an investor, you should buy into the rumor here, buy it up. And this is selling the news already, but I think Neo is only coming out with its quarterlies this evening. And so, like always, there's two ways to play this. I'm liking this 4205 here. So if it doesn't get above the 42105, then this is your resistance line, and 4040 is your support line. The next level is 4324 ish. Is it? Just let me see. 4322 and 4313. So 4320 is just okay. Here, yeah. So those are the levels on Neo. If you want to trade that before earnings or after earnings, then those are the levels for Neo. And please, no, not please. If I would trade this, I would watch those levels. Last one on my list now is MFIS, and then I'm going to do some tickets from the chat. We are already past 11 again. Holy mackerel, that's what Joel would say. What a movement on his MFS. Look at this. This is a 1 minute chart, so 22.87, 22.32. That's a 50-cent drop in 1 minute. What I'm seeing here. So it's volatile on this one. I don't have to tell you that. And you know that if you play this one as a day trade, I surely don't want to invest in something like this because of this. That would make me very nervous. But as a day trader, of course, these are moves that you want to see and that you can make some money on. So, does it respect levels? That's the big question. Yes, it does. Look at this one here, 1928, 1937, 1914. And what did we say yesterday? It's going to be not an exact level here, but it's going to be somewhere between. So sometimes when stocks are volatile like this, it's not going to be an exact level. It's going to be a region of resistance or a region of support, and that's where we drew in those lines yesterday. So this one is at between 19.17 and 1927. So it's a region of support, a line of support on this one. And then this 2024 might be some support here. And then all the way up here. And if this pre-market high stays this pre-market high, please check again in a few hours, then it just might be support, but being volatile as it is and being pumped as it is in some cases, then you might just see this one just rip through there and you don't get an entry whatsoever. And so be very careful in playing MFIS. What's your highest conviction stock in the European market aside from ASML? Okay, this is for information purposes only. I'm going to tell you that one. This is for information purposes only. So I'm going to show you. This is Prosus, P-R-O-S-U-S. It's a Belgian stock, mind you. And gives you also some dividends. This was May 20. This is March 21. Yeah, so this is Prosus, and this is a stock that I liked for a long time. I'm not going to tell you how long, but long enough. Just goes up from now 70, went up from 70 till 110-ish here. Now pulls a little bit down. Well, this is, I don't get scared when it does that here. So, and what it tries to do now right here is it tries to hold this 90 point here. I can also draw in this one, but it's terrible. So on this one, 90 would be my line in the sand for process. That's just not a day trading stock because it's not. If you're going to day trade this one, it's no use. So 90 now is my line in the sand here. If it gets below there, so if it breaks this support point of 90, then you have a lot of. Well, I don't like this one. So if it gets under this 19 point, then there is a lot of ugliness under 19. So this is for information purposes only. Don't invest in this stock if you don't know what it does, please. And they just closed now a 75 million fundraising round. And it's just a nice stock for me. So please do your own due diligence. Look up process, look what it does. Look at those charts also. Do your own technical analysis. Be sure that you know what you're doing before getting into any stock. But it's a nice stock, and full disclosure, it's in my pension plan. Ramon, yeah, it's an emphasis Reddit stock. OCGN, did we not talk about OCGN? No, we didn't, GURP. That's just, how did we do that? Why did we do that? Why did we not? Thanks for the love, guys. I'm going to sign off now. Only one more stock to go. OCGN. OCGN. Please hit that like buttons, guys. Before you go, it's just 1 second. Hit that like button. It's good for Benzinga. It's good for my ego. And and I'm just trying to share the information with you guys. I'm not going to sell you anything ever. You cannot buy anything from me. I'm just giving you free advice. And it's for information purposes only, as you all know. Well, OCGN is just hanging out here now. A lot of people got scared after this big move, I think. So now it's just thinking, well, where do I have to go? And so this is a stock making up its mind. Remember that it came from this place here. We talked about this one a lot. Came from this here. And now it's here and it's making up its mind. So if you want to day trade this one, well, you could say these are levels. You really could, if you want to. You could say these are levels, but when a stock's hanging out like this, doing this, I am not sure. I really am not sure if this is. Listen to me, all of you guys and girls can do this. You can draw a level here and you can say, okay, and this is also a level. Okay, and let's go on with it. Sometimes it's just that simple, but after spikes like this and just holding like this. If this is a flagpole, if you want to go into that and you would want to see this as a bull flag, which I don't, but if you want to see it like that, well, yeah, and then you can play the bull flag play. But I'm not really sure if this is the play that you want to make, but what's with my drawings? I am such a good drawer normally. You guys know that. So if you want to, then you can play this one and say, okay, if this one's breaking out here, then I'm going full long. That's a possibility, but I won't do that. So I don't recommend that. I'm going to take it away. I'm going to look at price action on OCGN. If price action looks good for me, so that's not other chapter, and it's not about levels with price action. It's just seeing price action and looking at your level 2 and looking at your tape in order to determine if you're going to be in stock or not. And how do you do that? Well, I did that by practicing for a long time, and that's one thing. And what I also do, and just call me crazy, sometimes after 30 minutes I'm done with my trading. So I prepare for 2 hours, and after 30 minutes I'm done with my trading. I'm happy. I'm getting out and I'm saying, okay, this was it. And what I do then, I don't go watch television. I go and pull up a level 2 and a tape and just gonna see what's happening there without trading. And that's called screen time. Just staring at your screen for 1 hour and looking at the movement of a stock in relation to its level 2 and to its tape. I'm gonna do a lesson about that one too. I'm not going to ask you to pay for that. I'm going to do a lesson on level 2 and what you can see on a level 2 and what you can see on a tape. Because if you are a little more advanced in a few, within some time, then level 2 and a tape can really help you to determine to get in or to get out of one. Okay, guys, it's already 15 minutes. Oh, Stacy, yes. What kind of dog do I have? Well, that's so good that you asked me that, because I wrote down dodgy dog. I wrote down dog, and I thought, oh, somebody asked about Dogecoin, dog ecoin. But that's not true. Stacy taught me. You asked what kind of dog do I have? Well, we adopted the dog. Let me tell you that much. So just bear with me for a while. We adopted the dog, and the dog came from Ukraine, believe it or not, Croatia. So we have a Croatian dog who was also in Bosnia, but originally the passport of the dog says it's from Croatia, and it's a rescue dog, so it was left behind with its brothers and sisters and her mother in some alley, and we rescued the dog, and she's now with us for 7 years or something now right now. And what I'm trying to do right now, Stacy, is to pull up that image, but well, I'm just having trouble in pulling that up. I just don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, here we are. So that's the one. Hey Dan. Yeah, Frain, I know that that's I thought when I said Croatia, then and Bosnia, then that I would have your attention again. So this is the dog, and this is in Dutch. I'll be right back when the dog's ready barking. So she watches the house. She sees that as a big task, and that's a good thing. It's not a pup. She's 7 years old on this picture. I remember also that I have to do one more because I promised someone that. I don't know who. We have to talk about Agen. And this is the first show running so late. So, Agen, does it have earnings today or tomorrow? Or had it earnings yesterday, maybe? Looking at this red candle, I'm guessing that it had earnings yesterday. Am I right? So here you have 51.25, no, 51.29, 51.35, 51.38. If you want a resistance point, then it's here, 51.36. It's not a big mover for a $50 stock, only an ATR of 97 cents here. Trying to get some support now in this 9 EMA. But after this and this gap here, what you want to see, no, it's not a channel, it's just here. This. If you want to see anything at all, then you want to see this gap filled, of course. And if it doesn't do that, if it doesn't fill this gap, and it gets below this 9 EMA here, then your next level will be at 48.53. So for Agen, were the earnings yesterday? Hey Dan. Shell. Yeah. Okay, Stacey is an ultra runner. Wow, respect for that. So that's the 200K runs or something like that. So 49.61, 48.53, 50.54 on Agen. And we have to close the show, guys, because it's running over 20 minutes now, and we talked about a lot of stocks. We talked about dogs. We talked about something else too, and that is people who tuned in a little late maybe didn't see this one, but Agen had it. I don't see Agen on this. So this is Thursday today. Caterpillar, Amazon, McDonald's, Twitter, Merck, Gilead, Neo, MasterCard, all the big boys are coming out now with their earnings, and don't see Gilead on it. I gave you the levels on Gilead. Thanks for watching, guys. It was a pleasure today. The show started a little different. I didn't have my good camera on, but I'm going to fix that. I'm going to be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and 10 o'clock Amsterdam time. So till tomorrow, and please watch the pre-market prep show with Spencer later on today. Have a happy trading day, and be careful and don't lose all your money. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.